Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to put this tinted hexagonal pattern holographic biopulse hex tint by VVivid on the back quarter window. In this case it's a 2017 Outback. This is actually headlight tint, but it is translucent, meaning it's clear but not optically clear. I'm putting it as back quarter window because those are windows that while I don't really use as a primary window like my driver's window, windshield, etc. This is, if anything else, is when I kind of look back, I just need to see if there's a car there. And this stuff is clear enough that you can see if there's something back there, like a car or a person or something back out there. It is tinted slightly. It's a light smoke color. The brand is by VVivid. They just launched it at the end of June. They were supposed to launch it earlier this year, but with the whole COVID-19 restrictions and such, they were unable to do so. So a couple of first steps is I've already cleaned off the window here with some just regular cleaner, and then I used a 50-50 mix of isopropyl alcohol and distilled water to then clean it off to get rid of any oils, residues, etc., etc. I've also, as you can see, I've laid down some knifeless tape. This is on the shape of the glass because the rest of this part where it's just gloss black behind the glass is where the trim is and not the visual viewing part of the window. And so I'm just going to cover up I'm just going to put this on the window part of it itself. I've also got a piece big enough to do that, so I have enough space up and down and then left and right, but a little bit extra on either side because this is clear. Any fingerprints you do have will, if you hold the adhesive on the underside, will show through, and you don't want to have fingerprints showing through on the part that's going to be applied on the window see-through piece to it. So go ahead and get started here. Like I said, it's already been sized, so I'm just going to line this up here, make sure everything looks good the way I want it. You know, you can try to line up like this, but off of the trim if you want to, but then the patterning is kind of angled as well, so I want to do it sort of pretty straight if I can, what looks level to me at least, to the eye. And so I'm going to just put it on there where I know I have coverage left and right, up and down, basically covering the knifeless tape. I'm just going to hold it with my arm real quick here, and then I'm going to start to peel this off a little bit, and I'm holding it on a part where I don't have, where it won't lay onto the main part of the window. And so I'm just going to fold this back, pull this out, fold this back, and then grab these very tip corners, or corner tips here, and then, get it in place, making sure that it's basically where I want it. And I need to cover the knifeless tape because that's what's going to cut the shape of the window afterwards. Once I got it in place where I think I need it, I'm just going to tack it down and then make sure that's how I want it. If it's not quite, I can just tack it up. And so this is VVivid Vinyl brand. It's their newest generation of headlight tint. I think this is probably generation 3, and so the new adhesive that they're using on this actually is not nearly as sticky as previous generations. So it's not grabbing as hard as before, even though this is glass, which is a very high surface energy type of material. So I've got that tacked. I know I like it where I want it there. This pattern looks like it's going to go straight. I'm going to go ahead and lock it down a little bit more with my finger here. And then I'm going to lift it just a little bit to grab the backing paper from behind it and pull it out. Have a application squeegee ready. I have one in my kit, which I'm getting here. And then so from there, what I'm doing is just holding it out. I'm holding on the paper, here, and I'm going to try to keep it a little bit low and flat if I can. And then start applying the vinyl to the surface of the window, just like that. And by keeping it low and flat and then pulling out just a little bit, I kind of keep I keep a little bit of tension on it so that the vinyl is smooth, so it's easy to apply. And so the part that I've already done, I'm just going to make sure I smooth that down really nice and tight. Pull out some more of the backing paper, Start applying the vinyl. Just like that. Super easy because this is a nice, pretty flat surface. This is not a curved or a bulbous or compound curved window. It does have a slight bow this way, but it's a very, very slow, gradual curve. So I'm at a point where I just peel the rest of it off. Got these kind of wrinkles this way, and that's fine. Not a big deal. I can just press it out, or I can take and pull up and down this way. Wrinkles going this way, so you pull up and down. They flatten out and disappear, and I can lay it down and tack it like that, and then smooths it out. Makes it nice and easy for application. As it gets tighter, just release it so that it can lay down. And now to the end, and I've covered everything up that I need to cover. Okay, so basically I'm just making sure it's on the glass tape, or excuse me, on the knifeless tape. And I'm just going to use my squeegee and my finger to make sure that it's sealed on there nice and tightly, so it gets a good, clean, sharp cut. Pressing that down pretty hard, and then on the main body of the window, pressing this down pretty hard. So you might be wondering why I'm doing this. Like I said, it's just it's a tint, so it darkens it just a little bit, but it's just for kind of a cool effect. It does have this rainbowy kind of effect to it, so I'll take off the camera here. Hopefully you can see it in the camera. You can kind of see it almost sparkling. I'll get some pictures of it and video out in the sun when I'm done. Alright, so we're just about there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my squeegee away, take a knife, and I'm going to pull the knifeless tape. Now when you set up knifeless tape, you want to remember which side you applied last, because that's the side that you pull first. Actually, I just pulled off too much here. I'm pulling this off so I can access the knifeless tape. I need to start from this side here. So I'm going to take my knife, I'm going to cut off this excess. If you don't have knifeless tape, that's okay. What you could do, if you're comfortable with it, is you can hand cut this, meaning you can lay it down just like I did, and then just, you know, with a sharp knife, like a utility knife, just like that. These aren't, unless you're pressing super hard, they're not going to scratch your glass. So I can, that's not scratching the glass at all. Anyway. So I'm just basically exposing enough so I can get to my knifeless tape. Actually, I'm going to cut off a little bit more without cutting the knifeless tape though. Okay. And then I'm going to pull this up, and let me switch sides here. I'm going to release the filament from the tape by giving it a quick pull. See the main tape there, filament's there, and give it a pull. And as I pull through, I'm following and keeping it kind of low the direction of the line itself. Okay. The end. That now has cut the excess vinyl, which I can take off now. Peel it off carefully, so in case it didn't cut all the way through, it won't grab the main body part of it and yank it up. Excess vinyl. Just put that off to the side for now. Now I just need to take off the knifeless tape that's remaining. So there's going to be two strands of it. There's one that's going to be outside of the vinyl. Peeling it out right now. And there's going to be one just under the lip of it, because the width of the tape and the filament is actually in the center of the tape. So I'm pulling that out from underneath the vinyl edge there, as you can see. When I pull it, the open edge of the cut, in this case, is pointing down, so I'm pulling it down, pulling in the direction away from the cut edge itself. And I'm trying to keep it as low as possible. I don't want to pull it up straight up like this when you start lifting the vinyl off too much, and you can cause binding or chattering of the vinyl. So try to keep it low and in the direction pointing out of the cut direction. Just like that. All right, and we are just about done here. So Now that I've pulled the tape out, there's a loose edge there. So what I'm going to do is take my squeegee and I'm pushing from the center out of the edge to seal it down versus taking it and sliding it like this. I'll do that next, but the reason why I do it like this is because with loose vinyl, meaning the edge that's loose here that the tape has been pulled out from underneath of it, when it's loose, if you start doing this, you can actually move the vinyl and start binding it up, and it'll start to bind and shatter on you. So after I've pressed it down like this, I then went over it again by smoothing it down like a normal squeegee stroke, and then here we go. Now I'm just taking this and smoothing it down even more. And in just a few minutes, I now have this pretty cool hexagon holographic tint on the side quarter window. So I'll take the camera off tripod again, bring you up close to it. And then you might wonder, will it peel? This stuff now will set pretty good. Afterwards, I recommend hitting it with just a little bit of light heat or putting the car out in the sun. You can kind of see the biopulse or the pulsing effect of the holographic chrome there. Now, what does it look like going through? Like I said, it's translucent, but not entirely optically clear. So you can still see through it. And on this side, it's not chromy, but it looks a lot like perforated window tint if anybody has ever or is familiar with that. So I hope you found this video to be instructive and informative. It's again super easy thing you can do to your car to give it a unique look that is quick and easy to do. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks, guys.